Boeing has been dealing with systematic problems for a long time, but the COVID-19 pandemic was just the icing on top that pushed the Boeing stock price to a 7-year low back in March 2020. Since then, the Boeing stock price has tried to break above key psychological levels, but Wall Street investors are split on the Boeing company's fundamentals and its future valuations, with some investors being all in and others just dumping the Boeing stock for good. So obviously, I had to put my Invest Diva hat on to chime in. In today's video, I'm going to analyze the Boeing stock from 5 points of my signature Invest Diva Diamond Analysis, which looks at every asset from 5 points: fundamentals, technicals, market sentiment, risk assessment, and overall how it fits within your portfolio. With that, we're going to estimate what the future holds for the Boeing stock price in the medium to long term, what type of investors should consider adding Boeing to their portfolio and at what price, and of course, whether or not I am personally invested in the Boeing stock. We are going to cue in the intro, and while we do that, head over to the comment section and tell me, are you currently comfortable flying on a Boeing 737 aircraft? How about going on a Boeing commercial space shuttle in the future when it's available? I cannot wait to hear your point of view in the comments. We're gonna cue in the intro and let's go! Hey guys, I'm Kiana Danial, 3-time author and the founder of the Invest Diva movement, the march to jump on in order to take control of your financial future and to make your money work for you. When you subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure to turn on that notification bell button because most of my strategy videos are timely and you don't want to miss out on the strategies by watching them too late. I used to have the Boeing stock in our dividend-paying stock list for our premium investing group members or the PIG members, but after all Boeing has gone through, they had to cut down on dividend payments, which obviously makes the stock less appealing to those in their retirement phase and those who want to invest mainly for dividend income. Now, besides losing their dividend appeal, the Boeing company has had systematic problems for a long time. They were favoring pleasing shareholders and maximizing profits rather than focusing on the quality of their technology. That is precisely what happened to their 737 productions. They were underbidding their competitors and taking the cheap route in order to expand their business. So in a way, Boeing kind of got what they deserved. Now they have a major publicity issue that if they played right, they may be able to come out of it way stronger than before. Boeing is stretched across many categories, including commercial, defense, and space. Their bread and butter used to be their commercial side and is the one that's hurting the most right now. According to Forbes, Boeing's commercial airplanes made up 49% of its revenue in 2019, defense and space made up 30%, global services made up 21%, and Boeing Capital Corporation made up less than 1% of its revenue back in 2019. Now that they're hurting on the commercial side, the next big hope for Boeing would be getting government funding for military spending. And of course, last but not least would be all the buzz around commercial space. We've recently been hearing all about how NASA wants to commercialize space and its need for private sector companies to do it. NASA recently completed a big launch with SpaceX successfully sending astronauts into orbit with a private spacecraft for the first time ever. Now it wants Virgin Galactic's help to act as a space travel agency, coordinating resources and logistics in travel plans for customers. Now, with NASA's support, companies like Virgin Galactic and SpaceX and even Boeing can get a slice of the commercial space pie. but that could be way into the future. Looking at the market sentiment here, just on Seeking Alpha alone, you'd see that Boeing bulls are confident that Boeing has a large backlog that covers several years of production for its most popular aircraft and is well positioned to benefit from emerging market growth, and that generally customers will not have many options other than continuing to rely on the available aircraft suppliers. On the other hand, bears think it could take years for airlines to recover from the economic damage that was caused by the COVID-19, and that the virus could lead to changes in customer behavior that would be unfavorable for the airline industry, including Boeing. For example, video conferences and Zoom and all of that replacing business travel. Other bears say that even though Boeing has historically managed these pitfalls, it is possible that this time around they will not be able to manage it. And even if they do, they could face these kind of problems in the future too. Putting this all together, to me, it sounds like the bulls may have the edge over the long term for the Boeing stock price growth. And for that reason, I believe that Boeing could be more suitable for younger investors who can wait out the current challenges and benefit the future growth, and especially those who are not relying on dividend payments for their investments. Now let's get to the fun stuff, the price action. If Boeing is right for your portfolio, what price should you consider getting in? And what price should you consider getting out? Let's take a look at the charts. All right, as you can see, I've been covering Boeing for a very, very long time for our premium investing group members, but today I'm going to put this away and focus on the current stock price. This is the daily chart for the Boeing stock with the Ichimoku cloud and Fibonacci retracement level applied. As you can see, the Boeing stock price bottomed out at $90 back in March, and it consolidated for a while. Then it attempted to break above the Ichimoku cloud, and now it's kind of just edging on the upper band of the Ichimoku cloud with the Kijun line and the Tenkan line kind of crossing, just about to cross over. The future cloud on the daily chart is bullish. Zooming out and looking at the monthly chart, you'll see that here we actually had a massive bullish engulfing candlestick chart pattern, which is a bullish indication, but the monthly chart Ichimoku cloud is still bearish. The Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart is also bearish. So the combination of this kind of gives us the same feeling as the fundamentals. The bears and the bulls are fighting with no clear direction. But what we do have are key psychological levels. And from what we've seen in the past, and the fact that Boeing's earnings wouldn't come until July 22nd, we may still have a little bit more volatility before a clear direction is made out. I have marked the key psychological levels using the Fibonacci retracement levels that traced the price on its way down back in February up until March. And here we can see that the 50% Fibonacci retracement level actually acted as a key resistance level that prevented the Boeing stock price from moving higher. And now the 38% Fibonacci retracement level at 180 is acting as a support or even a pivot level. Another key support zone is actually the Ichimoku cloud. So because we have this curve here in the Ichimoku cloud, I would believe that we could see the Boeing stock price to at least drop to 153, because normally after we see a temporary break above the Ichimoku cloud, we do see a pullback towards key Fibonacci retracement levels. So if you don't have any Boeing and you would like to get started buying it, any of these key support levels may be suitable for you. What I normally do is buying partially. So I would set a buy limit order for a few shares at 180, another few at 153, and another few at 119, especially before the earnings date, because we normally expect volatility before and after earnings. And if you set your buy limit orders ahead of time, you will not miss out on the volatility, and your limit orders will go through even if you're sleeping. Will we see another revisit of 90? At this point, to me, this is a little bit unlikely because we've already seen what COVID-19 has done. the economies are reopening, and then some of them were reclosing again. But the matter of the fact is that we are now used to what we have with the pandemic and with the lockdown. At this point, the second wave may not have as much of an impact on the stock market as it did the first time around, because the first time around, this was the result of a lot of panic sellers because we did not know anything about COVID-19. Now we have more information in our hands. And in the long run, and considering all the different divisions of Boeing and the Boeing company, I would believe that Boeing could recover the current prices and reach even the all-time highs. Now, if you don't want to stay in the Boeing stock for a long haul, you can set profit-taking orders. Actually, some of our premium investing group members did that based on my opinion, and we had set a profit-taking order at 220 after buying at the lows, and it did go through on June 5th, 2020. So the same way that you can set partial buy limit orders to buy the Boeing stock, you can also set partial sell limit orders to sell the Boeing stock. Right here, we have 348 as the strongest resistance level that has acted as a median price in the past 2 years. So in the next year or so, there is a very high chance that the stock price could go back up to this level. The next level you could consider taking profit at is the all-time high level at around 444. Of course, by the time that the stock price gets there, we have a lot more information about the company's fundamental, how they are handling their PR situation and their 737 MAX production, as well as their military and space divisions. I am currently invested in the Boeing stock. I bought as the stock price dropped, and I also had bought even before that for the dividend payments, actually for my dad's portfolio. So obviously my holding of the Boeing share is in the red at the moment. So I'm considering holding it and selling some of my shares as the stock price goes up at the levels that I just identified, and the rest of my shares I'm planning to hold long-term over 3 to 5 years. Hopefully by then the dividend payments will come back to Boeing. Now I'd love to hear from you. What is your favorite aerospace and defense company? You can choose between all Americans like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, and Northern Grumpy. Pronounce their name. I can never pronounce their name. Head over to the comment section and let me know who's your favorite and which ones you're currently investing in. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching until the end. If you like this video, please help us spread the word about the Invest Diva movement by liking, commenting, and sharing this video with your friends, and especially any mom in your life, whether it's your mom or your wife or your sister who's a mom or your friend who's a mom. We want moms in the Invest Diva movement because we are just growing and the movement is just so powerful and supportive and empowering. So I would really, really, really appreciate your help spreading the word and sharing this video. If you'd like to learn how you can personally work with me and access the premium investing group, please go ahead and open up a new browser. Go to learn.investdiva.com/yes. I will add the link also in the description area of this video. Register your seat for my upcoming masterclass to learn how you can also take control of your financial future and to make your money work for you. As always, invest responsibly, and remember, the only path to true wealth is by making your money work for you.